Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that rule well, that taught us his truth. Alright, salutations to the Akim, teaching the word in sincerity and truth, and blessings to the elect and the remnant of Israelites who are scattered worldwide, who are predestined to be saved. This is Brother Yakao, coming with a short video, and Lord willing, it'll be edifying for you brothers and you few sisters out there. And this is basically, it's going to be based around this scripture, Jeremiah 2:14. All right, now I'm going to show you this clip, and this is something that happened very recent. All right, and this footage you're about to see, and the culmination of it, you know, what happened is some of the most sickening, disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. But let's kick it off.
Thanks. This morning, a Shreveport family is demanding answers after their son's near drowning at a lake, Lake Darbon, with friends. And joining me this morning is the family, Christopher Gilbert's mom, along with the family attorney, one of the attorneys, Claudia Payne. Thank you so much for joining me. So let's talk about Chris. What happened? When did you get the call?
I got the call possibly around 8 on April 14th on a Sunday. A friend of his called and she was hysterical crying on the phone. She told me that Chris had fell into the lake and he had been out the water for 20 minutes or so. And I was like, 20 minutes? Why was he under the water for 20 minutes was my first reaction. And she was just like, oh my gosh, she just kept crying hysterically. And I was like, what is it? He's being airlifted to Shreveport. You know, we immediately started calling around, trying to find out where would he be, where would he go. And they informed me that the only trauma unit they have is Oshner. So we got the Oshner. They didn't have a call coming in saying that, you know, a plane was about to land. But eventually, about 20 or 30 minutes or so, they got the call saying that he was on the way. He was 10 minutes out. It's like they got the call like right before they landed. And initially when my son got there, the doctor called us in and told me that at that time that he was brain dead pretty much. And the rest of his organs were starting to fail. And we had 72 hours on the ECMO machine. ECMO is like sort of like dialysis for the lungs. And they had to put him on a ventilator.
Wow. And so I'm going to bring in one of your family attorneys, Claudia Payne, working along Lee Merritt.
That's correct.
And you guys have learned more. Tell us what you learned. Did he fall into the lake? Was he pushed into the lake?
So initially, as the mother reported, we initially thought that he fell in the lake. That was what the friend group initially reported to officers. Soon after, and I guess after more investigation, they soon found out that he was actually pushed by a female within that friend group. She actually admitted to mom as well as the police officers that she pushed him into the lake.
Was this horseplay or was it mad or?
Well, in the legal field, we characterize things the way we see fit. So, of course, they are saying horseplay. We are saying that it was a criminal, intentional push into the lake.
And why didn't anybody go in after him?
Well, now we've seen a video where one of the friends in this group attempted to go into the water briefly, but neither one of the individuals a part of that friend group were the ones to retrieve him from the actual water.
Okay, we have video of Lake Darbon, and shortly after he went in. Can we share that video, please? Tell me what's going on here, Claudia.
Okay.
This is actually Oshner LSU. We took this video this morning because this currently is where Chris is at this time, correct?
That's correct. He's within their care.
Okay.
This is a more recent photo of Chris. This is approximately 3 days ago. His condition or his stat, it doesn't necessarily get better, but it does change. It's different. The amount of work that the machines are doing on his behalf is constant. His lungs are said to be at 20%, so status doesn't really get better. It's just different.
Is he responding?
He is cognitive. He is responding. responding mentally. He cannot vocalize anything currently,
Okay.
But he's able to give a thumbs up and a nod of the head right now.
Okay, now those were the pictures that show some promise. But let's look at the pictures when you first saw Chris at Ochsner LSU. Yolanda, these are...
Alright, so I hope you're following the story so far. Alright, this Israelite guy was with his Edomite friends. They knew he couldn't swim, and one of them, which was a young Edomite girl, pushed him in the lake, you know, as a joke, and he was under there for 10 minutes, man. Alright, and none of them went in to try and get him out. You know, one briefly did, you know, and came out again. You know, and it was someone who wasn't, you know, related to the group or anything like that went in and got him out. You know, let's keep going. And remember, over there in America, you have to pay for all this medical treatment, man.
Are not actually, these are the after pictures. What was going through your mind when you first saw him? Because he was just lying there with a bunch of tubes.
When I first saw
Yes.
him, I was devastated. Like, I felt as though my life had ended in that moment. Like, my son is aspiring to be a medical doctor. My son is, you know, going to be a medical doctor.
He has a master's degree?
He got his master's last year
Wow.
in biological science. And he's preparing for medical school. So for this to happen to him, my son is like so sweet, this most selfless being you'll ever meet, and for it to happen to him, like, I was just devastated.
What is it that you are fighting for now?
I want the young lady who pushed my son, who admitted to me in the family waiting area that night at the hospital, because their friend group came to the hospital, still telling me the same fabricated story that he fell. I learned at that moment in the ER, the sheriff called me, and he told me, "Are you familiar with what happened?" Yeah, he was at the lake and he fell. He was like, "No." One of the young ladies pushed him, and I'm like, "Who pushed him?" And I started looking around the room. Which one of y'all pushed him? You know, the young lady, like, "I did." And I was like, "Why would you push my son in the lake knowing he couldn't swim?" She said, "Well, ma'am, I didn't know that man couldn't swim." And I was like, "Who is that man? This is supposed to be amongst groups of friends, right? Who is?"
You hear what she said? You know, so when she questioned the white woman, why would you do that to him? You know, he couldn't swim. She said, "I didn't know that man couldn't swim." That man. These are supposed to be his friends. All right, let's continue.
That man, Chris, everybody knows he can't swim. You know, he jokes about him not being able to swim. Even when we went to the restaurant, the owner of the restaurant even stated, everybody knows Chris can't swim. He's been coming here for 2 years. He always joking about it. I gotta have on a life jacket, you know, because they say he would come there and go canoeing sometime, and he will always have on a life jacket. So everybody knows. If you look at some of the posts, you can see anybody that know him from elementary to middle school. Chris can't swim.
Who actually pulled him from the water? Was it the restaurant worker?
No, it was actually another patron of the restaurant, Dawson Faust, who was a complete stranger to the family and the community prior to this, but now he's their hero, you know. And he deserves the honor.
Yeah. So Claudia Lee is actually flying into town. What's next for you all today?
So his legal team, Chris's legal team, consists of myself and Lee Merritt of Lee Merritt and Associates from Dallas. We have a dual interest: first, to seek justice by demanding that an arrest is made, but also to hold the restaurant bar owner responsible for not keeping.
Okay, so now you've seen the background of the case. Now, this guy pulls through, all right, and what he does is one of the most sickening things I've ever seen, man. But
Here at William Hill.
it's gonna give you an example of why us in this truth, especially us at Great Millstone, that's why we don't give two shits about the 2/3.
This mofo comes out and completely
Okay?
happened, but the story pushed me because I was playing games with. It was my fault. That's correct. It was my fault. All right. I misjudged like the depth of the water, bruh.
Yep. Yep.
What? What you? What? What do you mean it's your fault? He was like, well, I was expecting her to push me because I was playing games with her.
Every trio's arrested anything wrong. No, I really don't think.
You see? Now, this is him after the fact. And look at his hair, man. Blonde hair on his head. That's a telltale sign of Stockholm syndrome. All right. When you are so-called Negro and you're dyeing your hair blonde, it's a red flag, man. You know, it's a red flag because who has blonde hair? All right, they do. All right, and this is the bitch that pushed him in the water and spoke to his mum so rudely and was lying to his mum. I didn't know that man can swim. You see, but listen to his response anyway.
Make anyone do anything intentionally. I knew it was gonna happen.
See what he said? He said they didn't do it intentionally. He goes, I knew it was gonna happen.
Kind of thought maybe like I would just the water wouldn't be as deep. I'd kind of hit the ground, get my footing up.
See, he's making excuses for them. All right, continue.
Come back up and grab the pier. Just kind of stand up there. So, and then the water ended up being deeper than we thought. Ended up being a lot colder than we thought. Relief, I felt.
And then, look at his cracker friends, right? All right, that's one of his family members there, I think. This guy on the right here is the new solicitor. He got rid of the black woman solicitor, and that's the new solicitor. And I guarantee that solicitor is related to one of these cracker friends. All right, so he's not going to pursue the case. You know, I mean, this is incredible, man. You know, and that's why the 2/3 of our people need to die, man.
I was very emotional because it's been 3 weeks since I've seen any of them.
He goes, did you hear what this nigga just said? He said it was emotional because it's been 3 weeks since I've not seen any of them. They pushed you into a lake when you could not swim. Oh my God. This guy almost was brain damaged because of his so-called friends.
Bro, I don't know what they did to him in this hospital. Maybe they injected him with some coon serum. Just hold up, make sure it's clear. Just
man.
We're almost there.
Yeah, he's a coon.
I don't know what happened.
He's a coon.
I don't know what happened, but the story did a 180. It did a 180. He comes out, and it's like, what are you gonna say? It's out of his mouth, bro. It's out of the horse's mouth. He talking about, no, absolutely, there was nothing racial involved. That's a lie.
And as far as anything racially motivated.
I mean, look at and you notice he actually pushes forward to the camera, you know, to emphasize this point.
That's completely false.
I beg your pardon?
Being racially motivated. That's completely false.
Let's cut it again.
And as far as anything racially motivated, that's completely false.
I beg your pardon?
Wow, man. You know, I'm gonna leave it at that for now, man. You know, he's got Stockholm syndrome like the majority of our people, and you know what? That's why the 2/3 have to die in Babylon the Great, man. All right. Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? And it's got a question mark there. Is he a homeborn slave? Question mark. Why is he spoiled? And what does spoil mean? Spoiled means to take something away from you. All right. And that's what the Lord has done. He's taken away our language, our culture, our heritage, our history. He's allowed the devil to whitewash our history. You know, so our people don't know who they are. You know, some of our people don't know that, you know, they're related to King David, King Solomon. all these great people, the house of David. They don't know that they were, related to, historical figures like Joan of Arc and Henry VIII. They just think that they've just been slaves. And that's the result, man. A guy like that. All right? So is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? And if you go to that same scripture, and I put it in the blue letter, and I put it in the NLT, and look what it says. Remember, this is the results. Look at the headline here. The results of Israel's sin. All right? Sin is our kryptonite. All right? And what is sin? Transgression of the law, not keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. We were given it. The Lord only gave it to us. So, obviously, that's why he's punishing us, for our iniquities. And you can't be... I'm telling you, listen, my life is shit, man. But I'm glad that I didn't turn out like that guy, man. Alright? I'm glad he didn't turn out like that nigga. That nigga is a disgrace, man. Alright, this is Jeremiah 2:14. Why has Israel become a slave? Question mark. Alright? Why has he been carried away as plunder? And it's true. The Arabs plundered us in the Arab slave trade, and then the Edomites in the transatlantic slave trade. Okay? But that's the results of our sin. So that's why what Yahushua did, the sacrifice, he adopted us back into the Heavenly Father's good graces. So we can't muck this up. Because the alternative is to be like that coon over there, man. And there's a good channel here that I saw this story, and it's called I'm not gonna lie to you, it's called Runaway Slave 2.0. All right, it's a damn good channel, Runaway Slave 2.0. All right,
saying that he didn't like people saying that he was brain dead. He said,
and he's talking about this guy. See, look,
he's saying, no, these are my friends, it was a joke. So they went and got this little raggedy Negro, Chris Gilbert, here on a Zoom interview. And this is what he said. And I'm reading the New York Post.
Yeah.
He said, I don't think anyone did anything intentionally wrong.
Wow, man.
Okay. He revealed that he and 10 friends, including this girl, Holland, were at Rex Tails and Shells, a Farmville restaurant.
And by the way, that restaurant was serving shrimp and lobster, which is abominable food. All right. Now, if you can't swim, why would you go? Why would you go on a lake and do this canoeing if you can't swim? Look at him. He's got blonde hair. He's sticking his tongue out with his cracker woman, friend. And they don't care about you, man. They don't care about you. They didn't even risk their lives to, and this is the woman that actually pushed him in the lake, And the sad thing is, look, the sad thing is that he's probably gonna die a coon. All right, that's why you should thank the Lord no matter what we go through. Hey, listen, I'll be honest with you right now. I can't even, And if you send up prayers to me to Yahweh Hashem Yeshai, I'll be grateful. Right now, I can't even see out of my right eye that much. All right, because I've had a hemorrhage in my eye. There's blood everywhere and I can't see it. I'm not gonna run to the hospital, and say, oh no, this has happened, this that. I'm just gonna have faith in the Lord, man. Despite all the stuff that that we go through. All right, be thankful that you're in this truth and you're not like this guy. This guy is a complete slave, man. All right, and he's probably trying to bone this woman, and he might get there once or twice, but none of these Edomite women like her is ever gonna respect him. They're never gonna respect him. You know why? because they didn't respect him in the first place. They would have never done that. If any friend of mine knew that I couldn't swim and pushed me in a lake, none, they're not my friends.
Yeah. When they get around white females, they often disrespect their black mothers. Okay? What they do is they get around white females, a lot of black dudes like him.
So basically,
talking about claims of him being brain dead.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically a coon. All right, and that's what that scripture Jeremiah 2:14 is going to, is basically alluding to. So be thankful that you're not one of these people, man. All right, be thankful that the Lord's brought you in His truth, no matter what you're going through, man. All right, and the reason why they think they've got away with anything is because it's their society. It's all about power. And the reason why he's not going to press charges and he changed attorneys is because of how the Lord set things up. Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be shown to the wicked. All right. And favor is shown to these Edomites, so-called white people. They're the wicked. Favor is shown to them. Why? Because they're in power. All right. Yet, will he not learn righteousness? All right. So that, favor shown to them, and you can show them favor, but they will never be righteous. All right. They'll never deal with you in a just manner. All right. And in the land of uprightness, will he deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. All right. And if you look at what they the least of the flock is doing over there in our homeland, all right, those Amalekites, they're definitely dealing unjustly, especially with them people over there in Gaza. It's sad, man. So that guy is, and you know what? A lot of our people are like this. All right, a lot of our people are like this, man. All right, a lot of our people are like this, and I'm gonna have to show you one more case, and this is one of the most sickening things. Again, the same channel, all right, because it's not just our men that have this problem. Our women have it much more. Okay, and this was a case. Her name is Jerry Winters, and she was making videos. Look, she was making videos because she's on a yacht, and she's with her Edomite man. The guy has a yacht, and look at the way she's carrying on. See, look.
You with these shit, you got one of these right here. Come get it. Come play with me, hoes. Come see how I do what I do.
See, she's living a life. She's, her Edomite man's got a yacht. She's loving it. But let's see how it ended anyway.
Let's just say that it happened last week. And what's the difference to the listener anyway? There's a lesson in these stories. Now, the sister in this video that you've seen on the yacht is Jerry Winters.
Yep.
Now, Jerry Winters, she was in a relationship with a white American man in Michigan named Matthew Lewinsky. He's 37 years of age.
Yep.
Now, these two, Jerry Winters and Matthew Lewinsky, they appear to be doing great. You've seen her on the yacht right there.
For that bit.
Bills. Neighbors said that they can be heard beefing over neighbors and bills. They said that they can hear them sometimes arguing through the wall, yelling, and they knew that this was over usually money and bills.
Yeah, and money and bills. So they're arguing over money and bills. Let's continue.
Now, the conflicts between the two of them, it may have been other things as well, but that's one thing that stood out. But the conflicts, the back and forth that they were having led to Jerry Winters leaving the house. In addition, there was a neighbor who lives near them that said that Matthew, the white boyfriend, told her that Jerry, the black woman, was abusive towards him. He said that she was abusive towards him.
Really?
Other neighbors also said that Jerry Winters, the black woman, she appeared to be a nice person, but they think that she had issues with drinking. But who knows?
Who knows?
These white neighbors could be saying anything.
That's true.
Know? But this is what they said. Now, Jerry Winters left the house in November of 2020. Due to them two going back and forth, she left the house. This neighbor also said that Matthew Lewinsky told her that if that B comes back, I won't let her in. I won't let her in. But a month later, Jerry Winters came back and she moved back in. She should have stayed gone. She should have stayed gone. Because 1 month after she came back, in December of 2020, she came back. These two are arguing again. They're arguing, they start fighting. Matthew Lewinsky went into full rage, wrapped his arms around Jerry Winters' neck, took her life, took her out of here, okay? After he realized that she was gone, Matthew Lewinsky took Jerry Winters' lifeless body down to the basement, put her body on top of a tarp, and left her there. And this guy, Matthew, lived with her body down there in that basement, just like that, for 8 months. No ice, no freezer, nothing. Just like that.
Wow.
Okay? He was not found out until his sister came over. She seen the body down in the basement. She called the police.
Wow.
That's when he was found out. And it's just that stupid, y'all. Neighbors did say that they smelled a stench coming from this house for several months. Very strong. But they assumed that it was just a dead animal somewhere.
There you go, man. All right. So she loved this devil. All right. So much. Then the money stopped coming in. They were arguing, and he wrapped his cracker arms around her neck and killed her, man. And disrespected her so much. He just left her in the basement. Her body just rotted there for 8 months. That people could do. I mean, what kind of sick bastard would do anything like that? See, that's why we're doing you a favor by doing these lessons. We're warning you of how sick these people are, man. You know? And at least he got caught and got some prison time. I mean, look at this guy. You see? If there was a situation where it was me or him, all right, the police is going to believe this guy. But he's a psychopath. Okay? But favor is shown to the wicked. But they will not learn righteousness. So the best thing to do is to stay away from them, man. All right? Stay away from them, you know, and pray that the Lord keeps you in his truth. All right? It is Proverbs 21:10. The soul of the wicked desireth evil. So all that time he's making love to his woman, having a yacht and all that stuff, you know, this, that, and the other. Really, deep down in his soul, all right, in his soul, it says the soul of the wicked desireth evil. He had those evil thoughts. You know why? Because she was black. I guarantee you, if she was a cracker woman, he would have maybe choked her a little bit and would have released her and said, get out of the house. You know? So the soul of the wicked desireth evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. All right? So you ain't going to get no favor from these devils. Okay? So look. The only favor we have or we can attain is if we stay in his truth, man. All right? Okay? And that's when we have that spiritual hedge of protection around us. And last scripture, and we're going to close. I didn't want to make it that long. Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. All right? And that's what's going to happen with the elect. All right? 144,000, all the men. But the other elect, all right, men, women, and children of our nation, there's going to be a spiritual hedge around them. All right? And even when these devils want to do something, all right, or let's say you're in a situation where usually a cracker will do harm, the Lord will put it in their minds to be at peace with you. And we've had plenty of examples of that, man, especially when we've been teaching on the street. All right. So the only favor we get, you know, is if we stay in this truth. I mean, and you saw her video, you know, she was on the yacht boasting about it, and she was talking about bitches this, bitches that. She's 30 plus, and she was acting like a teenager, man. All right. So that's how the Lord is taking out our people. So be warned, man. All right. So I pray you're edified to the next one. Shalom.